This guy just entered the mentorship and he started printing like crazy. It was your biggest day, right? Like
Yeah. I hit like 1 week in the mentorship. I hit my biggest day. It was like 3K or something.
Yeah. And that week, how much you made?
10? No, actually that week I made like maybe 7, and the next one I made 18K in a week. It's just worth it, bro. Go all in. That's why I did, and that's why it worked. Like every single time I felt uncomfortable, and I only had one single way to go, and that way I went. It always worked out, you know. When you don't have too many options, when it's only that. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
So,
first week, it's just like frequency, right? But
yeah, of course.
So kind of introduce yourself.
So my name is Adonis. I'm Greek. I'm 17. I've been doing organic like a year now, since June last year, so a year now. I was like mainly filming up until like May, I would say, like around 25K revenue through filming and reposting.
Yeah. So I guess take it back when you first started kind of like the business and everything. Where was like a moment where you're like, holy fuck, I gotta lock in and everything?
Yeah. So last year, June, as I said, I was at a like trip, and it was like a wedding going on, and there were a lot of luxury cars and stuff, right? And that was like the same point in time when I first really started doing organic stuff, and that was kind of like what pushed me, because like there was like Lambos and stuff, and I was very inspired. So I came back, I started doing it myself for like, as I said, like a couple of months. So the thing with me is like a year or two ago, I was dating this girl for like a year and a half or something, a long time, We, at the time I was a low chaz, I was ugly, I was broke, so yeah. She kind of cheated on me, and I'm like, I gotta send now. So yeah, I send it in all places, but most importantly, I mean, I always knew that, I didn't want to do a 9 to 5, all those guys say. So, that was me too, but like the moment where it kind of changed for me, it was like 2 years ago or something. I was dating this girl for quite a bit of time, and I was ugly at the time, broke as well. So she broke up with me, she cheated on me, and then I wanted to do stuff about it because, I was, as I said, I was fucked. So yeah, I just first started going to the gym, and then that kind of got me into wanting to make a lot of money, which I did later on, and then I got into organic. And up until May, like a couple of months ago, I was just doing filming and reposting it.
Yeah, so kind of like, what's the whole process of organic? How many stores did you test before seeing?
Yeah, so like that's cooked from June last year to February, where I first made money. I had tested like probably 30 products, I would say.
Holy fuck.
I didn't make a store once. I didn't go viral once. I could never go viral. Now go viral first video always, but yeah, at the time I couldn't go viral. I don't know what was going on. It was my filming skills. I don't really know. I was a bit retarded as well, so yeah, I couldn't go really viral at any point. So I never really made a store, I was just trying, and it was all fucked. And I had to film. I have to do all the things that you gotta do when you're filming, and it wasn't even working out, So it was not worth it. By February though, I started reposting for a product, and that worked out, and that got me into, wanting to get into AI.
Yeah, 100%. So you were mostly organizing on like the product and just filming for your product, or?
Yeah, virality wasn't it. I wasn't following the blueprint, honestly, at the filming point. Like I would just do shit myself, I just came up with random ass product. I can tell you guys one product right now, it's ass. It was a Canva, bro. It was a Che Guevara Canva. That's like a communist or something. And I ran this shit for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but that was like a couple of months ago, like at the start of Q4 this year, September. And I would just do random shit. I wouldn't find products of the burner. I wouldn't test more than one concept. Not great at the time.
Yeah, 100%. So where you kind of like find me?
Yeah. So by February though this year, I started making a little bit of money. That store that I first made money with. My first sale was like a 2K day, and that store made me like 25K or something, like 25K revenue. And from like February to March, that was like 25K. That was all the revenue I did up until May. So I was stuck in the same situation for like 3-4 months, I would say, a good 3-4 months. That was reposting, by the way, the first product I made mine with. Because I had spent a lot of money, it was mostly reinvesting, I would say, but I spent on stupid shit as well. So I was down to like 1.5K, very little amount of money. And I saw Esteban on YouTube, right? At the time, I wanted to get into AI, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Right? I didn't really test too many products with AI. I was still doing some reposting. Wasn't great, but the last 1.5K that I had, I was like, I need to do something. I need to make this happen again, and I need to be consistent and stuff. Because I had tasted one big win, I would say, but I was slow. I wasn't doing great. So I was on YouTube one night, and I saw Esteban. He was, spilling all the sauce on YouTube for free, and I'm like, if that's what I get for free, what happens if I, actually pay? But because I had so little amount of money, I wasn't sure if I wanted, to move on. Then I texted him. He texted me back. I went on a call. We figured out something. I didn't even have enough money, so I paid what I have left. And
yeah, and I remember on the call, it was like you were so like, the conviction was there. You wanted it bad enough because obviously like with the previous success, then lost it all and everything. So I was like, dude, this is why I do for some guys. It's like I'm gonna enter you for like the price, a price I don't usually do. Mm-hmm. But when someone is like, dude, I'm like, I want it so bad. I'm like, dude, you're gonna win. And then after, you can pay the rest or whatever. I just saw this guy was like, holy fuck. But,
the thing is, like when I was on a call, he even told me like, because, you have the conviction, I can let you slide, which he did. And, now the thing is, at that point, I was left with a couple $100 in my name after, doing 25K, which is not an insane amount of money, the 25K, but, to a couple $100, that's a big difference. Yeah. So I was very uncomfortable, if I'm being honest. It was a very bad situation. But I'm like, I gotta do this. I have expenses because AI is a little more expensive. Nothing crazy, but when you have nothing, it's something. Mm-hmm. And I even thought about going back to my 9 to 5, which is what I used to do before organic. Yeah. And that scared me a lot. That made me feel embarrassed. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go back to my 9 to 5 because So I thought to myself that I need to make this happen, and it was very serious at the time. Like I didn't do anything for that time. Like I would just be on my computer all day long. But it didn't take a long time. Like the same day that I joined, I think I was on my burner. Or the next day, I'm not 100% sure. I was on my burner and I see this product. I text Esteban, he's like, run it. I get the product and I started doing some reposting at first. I was like the first couple of days I was into AI, right? So I started doing some reposting. It started to print. Esteban was always, do this concept, do that concept, use that sound. He was kind of giving me all the steps to, go and scale a little bit. And, he was like, do this angle, it prints right now, which was true. I actually printed off of that angle. And at some point, he's like, bro, you can do so much more with AI. So I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, go do the visual hooks with AI. Because there was a lot of footage to go for the showcase clip of the visual hooks. It was kind of made. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I started doing some 3-to-1, some store concepts, and it all kept printing and printing and printing. And 1 week in, I'm like up 10K from being at like $500 left on my name.
Yeah, no, I remember that. That was pretty insane. Just like joining the frequency, the conviction, obviously like seeing other people win in the mentorship. It's like, dude, it's like they're doing it. Why not me? 100%. Especially, it's like, dude, when you just apply with speed, it's like, how can you lose? You just gotta have conviction.
Yeah, speed is a very big thing.
Yeah, so it's like, this guy just fucking entered the mentorship and he started printing like crazy. It was your biggest day, right? Like
Yeah, I hit like 1 week in the mentorship. I hit my biggest day. It was like 3K or something.
Yeah. And that week, how much you made?
That like 10? No, actually that week I made like maybe 7, and the next one I made 18K in a week, I think, or something.
Yeah, 18?
But I hit an 18K week for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
Yeah, and that was like my previous record was 18K in a month, not in a week. So I broke that shit.
Yeah. First week, it's just like frequency, right? But
yeah, of course.
Obviously, like the strategies were important. So kind of like give a breakdown on exactly like, joining mentorship, everything we did.
So I would say that Esteban is very big on how important the visual hook is and how important content research is. Because if you want to get ahead of these guys, you got to know who you're selling to, because at the end of the day, it's AI, but it's marketing as well. Marketing is a very big thing. So he's like, go and do content research. One of the first things that he said. Yep. So that's what I did. I went on, I scrolled on TikTok and on all the other platforms that I could use, and I did all the content research, I did all the research for the visual hooks. I got a fat doc, I filled it up with everything, sounds, texts, everything I could use to make my videos better. And then I sent it to Esteban. He reviewed it, he told me what's good, he told me what to do. And that was basically the structure I was going off of at the time.
Yeah, so obviously like, we found the product and everything, and after content research, market research, like you said, like most people in organic are just like retarded, just like copy from each other. So it's like, dude, you want to win, but you're just copying other people and you're making a worse video than them. It's like, how the fuck can you succeed?
Yeah, actually, my competitor, the guy that I saw it because I saw it off of the banner, my competitor, he's kind of known in organic, but he had like a product that he was using his face. He's very viral. All dropshippers know him. Maybe you see him. He was doing a specific concept. He was just repeating that all the time. He couldn't go viral with new concepts. I don't know what he was doing wrong. And I saw the product off of him, right? I started running it, and at some point, while I was theoretically copying him, I wasn't, but he was, my competition. And then he started copying me. He started reading my videos and posting them. And it didn't work out because I was the original guy on it. I was the one that was creative,
100%. It all comes down to you being original. Like always, it's like you cannot like copy people because it's like you're gonna get such lower views because you're not actually like creating concept, coming up with new shit. So that's what we did. And obviously it worked. Like fucking first week, it's like 18K. The second week, so it's like And then obviously like after that, what kind we did, to scale and everything.
So with this product, it was a pump and dump situation, I would say.
Yeah.
It was the angle that was amazing at the time. So he's like, for now, like I was actually trying to think of doing other products as well because I was like a little scared of just being off of printing one product. And he's like, for now, you gotta focus. You put 100% on this product. By the time this opportunity is done, we're gonna do
because it was a Father's Day product, and now basically, you had to.
So we're gonna do the scaling part, and I put not 100%. I would say I was a little slacking at the time, but I put my focus. I do what I did, and it worked out. And now I'm actually running more products. I'm running like 3 now, but the scaling part is. First of all, there is an opportunity when it comes to products right now, which is what I'm working on. At the same time, I'm very different when it comes to selecting products because I would do like 99% burner. Now I do Calodot and AliExpress. And Ali too,
that's the main thing. It's like you find product on the burner. Obviously, it's like other people's gonna see it, and then if other people's gonna see it, the time you see it, it's like there's 2 more comps there.
There's delay.
And it's like, especially for beginner, they cannot create better vid than their comps. So it's like the best way to do it is just like bringing product to market.
Yeah.
And most people in their space are just like they think, you gotta be advanced to bring product to market, which I find completely stupid. It's like, use your brain. There's definitely criteria and everything, but that's what we kind of been doing. And do you want to talk a bit about custom product?
Yeah, so the thing is now, it's like July 9th, I think, or 8th. I'm like a little less than 10K up for July, and that's 90% of the custom product that I did with Esteban. When it comes to Esteban, he has a lot of connections. He's been like, not glazing, but he's been around the space for like a good amount of time. So he has the suppliers, he has all the situations, he has the customer support, he has everything. So we can come up with shit that no one else can. So like, it's very high barrier to entry for anyone else. Like only we can do that because only he has the suppliers that can actually make the products that we think of come to reality. And that's what I'm doing as of right now. I'm coming up with custom stuff and it's all going great.
Yeah, 100%, because there's no there's nobody that can create the custom product because they don't have the supply, like you said. So this is what we've kind of been doing recently. Yeah. So what's kind of like the whole experience coming in the mentorship in terms of like
So I've been in the mentorship for like a month now. There are so many things to say. Like one case study would not be enough to explain all the benefits that there are. But I would say like especially for me. I'm from my hometown in Greece. There is no one that does this, I'm very different, and I'm kind of by myself, I don't really have anyone to talk to and stuff. Not in a gay way, but I don't have anyone, to say about the whole my problems, like when it comes to doing the clips, when it comes to running the products and all that. And when you go into the mentorship, there is even just on the general chat, not even going to people's DMs, just on the general chat, you can ask whatever the fuck you want to ask. And there is guys that are 10 times better than you. There are people that are worse than you. There is like everything that you would need when it comes to, communicating with other people that do the same business model as you. Mm-hmm. And that's great, honestly, but that's not even the best part. I would say the best part, honestly, is one-to-one calls with Esteban. This is my favorite part for sure. Yeah. They are efficient as fuck, effective as fuck. He will just be straight to the point, like, no wasting time. What's your question? This, that, the other one. I type down everything that he tells me about, and then I go and act on it. I do weekly calls with Esteban once a week, and then there are 3 group calls, which I join as well because there is a lot of value. Even when it's a group call, there's always a lot of value because there are coaches in there. So actually, the only mentorship that I know in the game that does that, it's not just Esteban, it's another two coaches or three.
Yeah, there's basically the other coach is a guy that joined a mentorship. He printed and then he became a coach. And this guy joined a mentorship, already made like 300K. So then he became a coach. And
yeah, and not only that, there is another guy that's very good with websites. He has done like 5Ms or something. He's very big when it comes to websites. So, and he's on group calls sometimes. Yeah, Josh. So you can even ask him, and you're not gonna get support from anyone at that point, any other mentorship, right? And it's not even that. When it comes to the support with Esteban, every single day he replies to all the messages. And even like for beginners, I would say, because I wasn't a beginner when I joined, but like for beginners, you know, people say all the time that acting is obviously more important than consuming content. But if I was a beginner and I went in the mentorship, first thing I would do, I would watch all the courses. Like there is so much value in there, and it's you know, it's like there's so much value that you're not even gonna have questions after you watch them, because it's breaking down everything.
Even for the advanced, it's like with the AI system obviously and everything, and just the mindset the mindset course of like, dude, it's like it completely changed the way you view the world, the way you do things, because it's like not only about the mindset, the like kind of like basic shit, but it's like really esoteric knowledge that I've learned with my mentorship before, and obviously the productivity part and everything. So what was kind of like the course you were like, holy fuck?
I would say the mindset for sure, bro. Like most of the guys say the mindset part, because like with like everything you want to do in life, you want to be better at it. It's all about mindset, especially online business. When you are all alone, and you know when you're not.
And it's like people when it comes to mindset, people are like, yeah, mindset like normal shit, but like we go deep down like
because it's not just saying about mindset. It's actually knowing how, you know, because like the universe does really work in a specific way, you know, and guys like Esteban really kind of understand that, right?
Yeah.
So even in the like you can ask him questions about mindset, but even in the courses about mindset, which is my favorite part, honestly. It just explains and breaks down so much, and you understand more how to act, because there is a very much a specific way on how the universe works.
100%, dude. So, you know, before coming into the mentorship, what was kind of thing that you weren't sure about, like joining fully step and everything?
So I wasn't really trying to commit when it comes to like the money, I would say. I was a bit scared what was wrong, which it has very much sense in my mindset. I was a little, you know, protective when it comes to spending money. But I did have a lot of struggles with AI, and I knew that AI is the move, because it is like 100%. So I got pushed into doing, honestly, because of YouTube, because I just saw how much he was saying on YouTube. I'm like, if that's what you're doing for free, what are you gonna do if I actually pay you? And a lot, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. So kind of like talk a bit about like the whole AI system and how we're gonna be able to scale, obviously, like more account, everything.
Esteban is working on something very big right now. I don't think anyone else has even thought of that.
Yeah.
So first of all, he has developed a custom app. It's a custom website that it's basically taking an API key. How much have you invested in that?
Like multiple 5 figures. We want
Yeah. So he has spent a lot of money on it. It's basically like using Claude and Hicksville, but 10 times smarter, 10 times more effective, 10 times faster. It's just so much better in every single way. You can upload videos, you can upload pictures as normally, but you know the prompts are so much easier.
The main thing I'll say is really be able to kind of like learn, because AI obviously like Xfill and everything, you cannot learn, so it keeps getting mistake. But once with the AI system, we build a system where the AI knows about your brand, and then we can just pump out so many videos so fast. That's the whole point of it. And obviously, like the credit side of things is a bit cheaper than Xfill.
And you have like you can like make a context thing, it's like a file, and you can upload everything about the brand. So you can like be like brand A and brand B, and when you talk about brand A, it's gonna be like good at the brand A stuff, and then the brand B stuff. And then there is the creator thing that he's trying to do now, and I see it's a great idea.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of creators from the past, and now he will pass it down to us. So if we're at the scaling point that we need to put out more volume, because obviously quality is number one, but it comes to a point where you need to put out more volume. He has his creators, and he does pass them down to us, and we work with them, and that's how we're gonna scale.
Obviously, like, you know, for them, it's like the biggest thing is be able to just like not post anymore, but just like managing creators and be able to just like call people all day, because this is the goal, right? I know a couple of guys, it's like we've been starting doing this, so I just like collect creators and pass to my clients. Obviously, these creators are already good, come in the mentorship. Obviously, like they don't have the full access to mentorship. I just like teach them some stuff, so then I pass to my clients, and then the clients are able to scale this way. Because like you were saying, like there's no way you're able to do consistent 6-figure with one account. You gotta scale. You have to have more account or more different marketing angle, and obviously like build a landing page that follow that kind of marketing angle. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can take, like, the thing with organic is we usually just test one way of doing things, if that makes sense. You know, one marketing angle, one account, what type of videos. Actually, you can just do more than simple organic videos that we do. We can go for, like, you have a product and you have 2 accounts, the normal organic stuff, the 3-2-1s, the store concepts and all that. And then you have an account that's like, it's like a personal brand, it's around an avatar. Like you can do whatever
100%.
you want. And that's how you scale, honestly, by putting out more high quality volume. And the only way to do that is if you have the right tools, which we have in the mentorship.
Yeah, 100%. And most people are like, dude, they're just like not shipping. There's guys that are not shipping, like the floaty.
Yeah,
it's like people in the organic space, they're just like, they think they've made it, like they made like maybe 100K or some shit, but it's like they're always falling down because they don't understand the marketing aspect of things, the marketing aspect of like, dude, I'm gonna build a real brand, I'm gonna manage people, I'm gonna have like a great website, I'm gonna understand my avatar, I'm gonna do research. Most people don't do research, we do deep market research to be able to really, okay, dude, this is exactly, I'm gonna be relatable to that guy. And
yeah, that's like so true. Like for me, that's so relatable because like even like a year ago, and it happens now as well. You think about organic and you think like it's a funny business model. Like people even might take it as a side hustle, you know. And I know organic has the potential to do up to like 7 figures a month. And I always, my goal, when I started making money, my goal was like, how do I get this to a business level? You know, I want to be like, it sounds a little stupid, but I want to be like a businessman. You know, I don't want to be
100%.
Filming, doing the movements. I want to be like serious business, you know, having my contacts, having my employees, like a serious business level. And this is how you get there.
100%. And just like the Google ads aspect, obviously the email marketing, this is how you build a real brand of like, dude, I'm not only going to just like, you know, switch product all the time, but I'm gonna build a brand where I can put more product, I can introduce more product to my business. Because obviously like the client experience is really good. Because when the product is good, the shipping is fast, the product quality, the customer will like the product, so he will return to your business. So then you can release the new product and let them know with email marketing and everything, and then obviously Google. And this is how you scale. And yeah, the MR part, I think is just like the best that most people
Yeah,
know.
Esteban was running. You can say about the.
Yeah, I was running the red light cap therapy. Obviously, like I did the serum for the MR, but it's just like any product, you can find a way to MR them in the back end of like, obviously like the product you're selling it's not gonna be an MR product, but in the back end side of things, you run MR to be able to do consistent money, and that's the best way that most people
Yeah,
do.
and I would say too, when it comes to products, if you guys are struggling with that, like there is a trend right now that I cannot leak right now, but in a couple of months you will know. Esteban brought that trend into the market. I'm just letting you know. So when you see that growing, and you know, see all the people in the mentorship making money, when it's all said and done, you're gonna figure out that Esteban brought that into the market, and this is, you know, with a custom products, because the only way to do that is if you can fulfill the order. So
100%, dude. So yeah, I guess you want to say a last word to people like watching, or
I would say a couple of things. First of all, conviction. If you know you are for it, you're gonna make it. There is no need to go crazy. Just keep doing the input. You know, at the end of the day, and that's something I struggle with, and I know a lot of people watching that will struggle with, is keep doing the inputs. That's all you need to do, and it's just worth it, bro. Go all in. That's why I did, and that's why it worked. Like every single time, I felt uncomfortable, and I only had one single way to go, and that way I went. It always worked out. You know, when you don't have too many options, when it's only that. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
So if I was in a position and I could spend money, or even if I couldn't, go and work a 9 to 5. Go and do whatever you need to do, because these actions is what are going to take you to the next level, and you just need to do it, honestly.
yeah. No, 100%. I think people are just like too comfortable. Honestly, it's like
100%.
the pain. If like you don't feel enough pain of not doing anything, you won't take action. You gotta on a daily basis be like, holy fuck! If I'm not doing it now, then dude, I'ma fucking wake up 3 years later. I'ma be fucked. Cause the most you go inside the down rabbit hole path, it's like, you know, college and everything. You get more programming into your brain. Now it's more difficult to kind of go away from that. So yeah, 100%, man. So. Yeah, I guess, guys, if you're interested to join the mentorship, it's going to be the first link down in the description. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little case study with my boy Adonis, which you're going to see back because we're going to crush with the system and everything. So yeah, guys, peace out.